Hey y'all, it's Bennett, and it's time for another yard sale day pickup video. That's right, I went out today to yard sales around my town, and I even went out to the flea market about 10 miles west of here, I guess, and looking for video games and related stuff like that. And once again, it was like just a big strikeout. I think the yard sales are getting a little bit harder to succeed in as the season, comes all the way around to fall, to full on fall here. The weather was tremendous today, so that was no problem. That wasn't keeping anybody from having their stuff out for their yard sales, but I just think, the people have been doing yard sales for months now, and the odds are getting, worse as the weeks go on. But that's okay. We gave it a try. First one I went to had a few loose Xbox 360 games and, Xbox games. They were copies of Halo and Halo 2 and games of that ilk for the regular Xbox and 360, and they're all loose disc in a little stack. And so, they were worthless to me. There was nothing in there for me. I had seen on the post earlier that they were supposed to have an Xbox 360 and games. So apparently, and I got there at 7:45 for an 8 o'clock yard sale. Apparently they had already sold the console that they had listed. So gotta be even earlier than that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of being an early bird and getting there absurdly early and all that, but oh well, what are you gonna do? I don't really need another Xbox 360 anyway, so there's one right over there, for instance. I have an extra one, so no big loss there. What was funny was, I told the guy, yeah, it's all right. I looked at the games and didn't need anything for my collection, and he said, well, I also have this Sega Genesis back in the house, but I think I'm going to list it on eBay. And I thought, oh yeah, and thinking, ooh, Genesis A, maybe we'll get us a deal here. And he said, yeah, some of those things some of those Sega Genesis going for on eBay for $2,000, and I could not help myself, and I completely laughed. And you're not getting $2,000 for a Sega Genesis. I wouldn't pay $20 for a Genesis right now. And he was close to offended. I think he was. Anyway, didn't want to hear it from me, but he was like, well, maybe you wouldn't pay, $20, but there's people there, it could be worth $2,000. It's like, man, if you get $2,000 for it, more power to you. But anyway, maybe that guy is gonna walk away $2,000 richer with his, I don't know, solid gold Sega Genesis, but I doubt it. Anywho, I think people look on eBay at the price that people are asking and not the price that people are actually paying for these things. And I also think, I don't even think that you would find a Genesis asking price anywhere remotely close to $2,000. Even if it was, new in box, never opened, and stacked with rare extra games, not even gonna get to that mark. So yeah, I don't know where he was getting that number, but it's not in this reality. But whatever. So moving on, I went to the second yard sale of the day, which it was funny because it was at a house that used to belong to a friend of mine back when we were kids. And I spent every weekend for pretty much the entire 90s and early 2000s at this guy's house. watching football and playing video games, and back in the day playing G.I. Joe. He was the only guy I ever knew that had the G.I. Joe helicarrier, aircraft carrier, the USS Flag, 6 feet long toy, the biggest vehicle ever produced, for an 80s toy. And anyway, one of my best friends and I just lived in this house, and so it was bizarre to be standing out front looking at other people's stuff at this yard sale at this house that I practically grew up in myself. Anyway, but I went there on the hopes of getting to some Marvel and Star Wars stuff, because the ad said there would be someone selling their Marvel and Star Wars collections of whatever stuff. Unfortunately, that guy apparently had car trouble. It was a multi-family yard sale, and apparently that guy had car trouble, and I waited, started at 8, and I was there, before 8 o'clock, and I waited till 8:30, and he never showed up, so I had moved on. So maybe somebody else got some cool stuff from him when he eventually showed up, but oh well, you win some, you lose some. I didn't get the impression he was going to have video games, so maybe somebody else will do better with the collectibles whenever that guy showed up. That's fine. All right, but that was the yard sales. I went to several others and didn't have anything to show for it. No video games at all. And I even kind of got fed up with going from house to house. And I went and tried my luck at the dirt mall outside of the next town over, and big flea market there, and there were a few video games, but even that, there are fewer vendors for video games than there used to be, and it's just not happening right now. So everybody is on the eBay train, I guess, and it's not like it used to be, but it's a little discouraging, but that's all right. There's still ways to get games and to get them fairly cheap. But it takes the fun out of yard selling when the pickings are so slim. Oh well. But this is why you go to yard sales, though. On my way home from my excursion, I stopped in a neighborhood very near mine, and in a house there, they were having a yard sale, and they didn't have any games there. I asked, and the guy said, "Well, we used to have an Atari, but we sold it before we moved here from St. Louis," or something like that. Apparently they had just recently moved in. And yeah, so even if he had Atari stuff, that probably not anything I would have wanted. But this guy had some very interesting things that caught my eye, and after a very quick Google search, eBay search rather, of one item on the stack, I knew immediately that this had potential, and so I went ahead and bought the whole stack of stuff from him. And I'll just grab a handful of them for now, and then I'll show you what it is. These, if you can see those, are reel-to-reel tapes from the some of the great artists of the 70s and maybe 60s and so on. Vintage reel music albums. So and the first one, the one that was on the top of the stack, was Led Zeppelin II, which, this is an amazing album, but I don't need it on reel-to-reel, but hopefully somebody on eBay will. And my quick eBay search showed this particular one going for one sold at $150 or something like that, certainly over 100, and several others for 50 plus easily. So, caught my attention. And yeah, I talked to the guy about them, and he said he sold his reel-to-reel player before he left St. Louis or wherever it was, and just had this couple of stacks of tapes left. And I told him how fascinating they were, and I kind of was flipping through them and seeing what all he had, and that he had good taste, more or less in music here. And anyway, I told him I have no idea about these things. I just think they're cool. How much does he want for them? He said, make me an offer. And I said, I would not even know where to begin. And this, personally, I'm not a fan of making somebody an offer when there's not like a base level on the table for anything. Because whatever it is, I'm bound to be lowballing somebody, and they're gonna. I feel like they would most likely say, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me! That's a garbage offer. What do you take me for?" Even when I legitimately don't have any idea what these things are worth, I wouldn't know where to begin. So I said, how about you go? What do you have in mind? And he said, I don't know. How about a buck an album? So we counted them up, and there were 21 of them. And so I paid $20 for all 21. And I'm going to show you what I got. All of them are, they're not going to be super fast sellers on eBay, but they've all sold for, almost every one of them has sold for more than I paid for the whole stack. At least once on eBay. So I have high hopes that this will be a lucrative return on my investment, and something that I can, add to the game fund. That's what I'm doing this for. Add to the game fund. So you got your Led Zeppelin II killer album. If you don't know about some Led Zeppelin, obviously this is brilliant. A lot of these I won't know anything about, but some of them I do. Here we have, all right, Barbra Streisand. What about today? I don't know anything about this one. Looking at the back, I don't really recognize any of those song titles, but I did look it up, and I think that was the only one. I think those were selling for like $10 maybe. I think that was the least valuable one of the stack. Here we have Simon and Garfunkel, Bookends. I don't specifically know this album, but good old Simon and Garfunkel. This is probably not the best way to do this, but let's see if I can move the camera in such a way to do this better. All right. Here we have Rolling Stones, Through the Past Darkly, Big Hits Volume 2. It's got Painted Black and Jumpin' Jack Flash. Got some hits right there. Honky Tonk Women. Let's see. Inagata Vita from Iron Butterfly. Everybody loves that one. Yeah, this guy had some good stuff. A lot of times when you find people with record collections or whatever, it's stuff that I at least have no clue what it even is and whether it would be worth anything, and it's just out of my realm of knowledge. But this was at least stuff I can work with. We got Janice Joplin. I got them old Cosmic Blues again. Mama? That's what that says. Alright. Got some Janice Joplin there. And this is O.C. Smith at Home. I have no idea who this is or what he performs. At a glance, don't recognize any of the song titles there. Oh well. Moving on. Aretha Franklin with Aretha's Gold. So, some greatest hits from Aretha Franklin. And we keep going. You got Steppenwolf, Monster. I don't know the songs on this album, but more of that kind of 70s rock that should sell pretty well on eBay. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. But I don't know the album title. It's this one. And we got Santana, the one with the cool lion on the cover. And moving on. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. I think this one was selling pretty well on eBay as well. By pretty well, I mean the average for these, they look like at least like $30 a piece across everything. Yeah. So, but I think that's a little bit more. Anyway, Three Dog Night, suitable for framing. This video is probably taking too long, but okay. Andy Williams. Gotta love some Andy Williams. One of Nelson Muntz's favorite artists ever on The Simpsons. And, I like his Christmas music at least, so. But, whatever. Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits. We have The Best of Bill Cosby. I used to listen to this tape all the time when I was a kid. Some of his best work there, says The Best of, from his, stand-up and storytelling records. And so this has like the Noah stuff and Street Football and Fat Albert and all that good stuff. If only he hadn't turned out to be a garbage person who did horrible things to women, I would break this tape back out and enjoy it. But he done ruined himself by showing himself to be a bad person. Nevertheless, somebody will probably buy that real on eBay. Best of the Bee Gees. And that's I'm not seeing Staying Alive on there, so it can't be the best. Maybe it's too early for that. I don't know. Sly and the Family Stone. Album seems to be called Stand. Almost there. This is Cheap Thrills from the Big Brother and the Holding Company, featuring Janice Joplin, Jamie Jorp, if you watch 30 Rock. And yep, this has a lot of good. So this is Piece of My Heart on it. So that right there, somebody will want it for that. And we're getting close to the end. Just a couple to go. But yeah, this is Spiral Staircase. I have no idea who this is. More Today Than Yesterday. I do not know them. And Three Dog Night, again, a live album captured live at the Forum. So, yep, that was a healthy stack of 21 reel-to-reel tapes for $20, even cash money. And I expect to turn it around into several $100s on eBay, all told. It may take a while because the demand for these is not super high, but the people who want them are paying up for them. So I don't have anything to test them on or anything, but I think most of the ones on eBay were sold untested anyway. So add mine to the mix. But yeah, this is why you gotta keep going to the art sales, and why you gotta pay attention to the things that are out there that may not be the exact thing you're looking for, because there are some things that with a little bit of research you can pick up and flip and turn into more video game money. Just the plan for me. And yep, so hopefully for too long that return on investment will happen now, and I'll be able to get the kind of things that I like for my collection. All right, thanks for watching. I know this is not a video game to be seen. Well, I mean, other than the ones back there. But I nevertheless I appreciate you tuning in to see how yard sale day went, and I'll keep them coming. So please continue to watch and like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any comments and all that stuff. I really appreciate it. Take care. Hope you'll have a great day.